Hey team, Yasin here, and in this training, we're going to be going over managing our technology. Now, I have this very interesting cover photo for this training, and it says that social media and smartphones will destroy you. Now, this originally actually used to be a sub training inside of the tech fundamentals training, okay? But we got so much of a supportive response from our students about how important this specific training was helpful for them that we literally had to create a standalone training, which is what you're going through right now, okay? And remember, we're still continuing with our theme of this module on setting up your foundations to make a six-figure income online with remote wellness. And this training is absolutely a part of that theme. Remember, I've said this from the very beginning. You might be saying, oh, come on, just teach me how to be able to make money, teach me how to get clients, teach me how to make six figures online. Well, here's the thing. This is the boring work that everyone keeps skipping. And this is the reason why so many people are not successful with making an income online. And we are not going to have you be another one of those stories that is not successful. We want you to be successful. And what we're about to talk about here in today's training is absolutely critical to that transformation of you becoming a 6 and 7 figure income earner online. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. And I literally mean this training right here. You see this picture on the screen right now? It says social media and smartphones will destroy you. I mean it, okay? And you can see here the title and the header for this says that social media and phones were designed to make you more poor. I don't know if poorer is a word, but definitely make you more poor, okay? So here's the thing. Please hear me out on this, okay? If you get nothing out of this entire program, right? Like if you learn nothing about remote wellness, if you learn nothing about anything, okay? I'm literally asking you to learn this one thing because it is going to change your life, okay? Because here's the bottom line and here's the truth. The only resource that you have in order to be able to change anything, right? In order to change your income, transform your health, transform your relationships, transform your life. The only resource that you truly have, yes, time, but we don't live in the time economy anymore. What we live in is we live in the attention economy, okay? So prior to smartphones, prior to social media, prior to any of that, we used to trade time for money. But in today's world, because we now have machines that can do things for us post-industrial revolution, what has now become the currency of the world is not time, because now you can do so much more with such more little time, right? Because in the past, you had to go and, do the farming yourself, but now there's machines that do it, right? Before you had to go in and do all these things yourself, but now we got software to do it. And so now the currency of the world is attention, okay? And so what happens every single morning when you wake up is you wake up with what is called a bank of attention. Okay, we coined that term, a bank of attention. Now, where you choose to spend your money, aka spend your bank of attention, that is going to decide your fate in life, in business, in your income, in your family, in your relationships. Where you decide to spend that attention matters. Okay, this is why we call it paying attention, right? When you say I'm paying attention to this, right? Because you're literally paying out of your bank of attention, okay? Now, there have been so many, I don't even have to list them because of how many there have been. There have been so many scientific studies and articles and, people talking about it that prove that smartphones and social media were designed, and when I say designed, that means from the ground up, when they were thought through, they were designed to be addicting. Okay, they weren't designed to make you more money. They weren't designed to have you have a better quality of life. They weren't designed for any of that. They were designed to be addicting. Okay, now it's not your fault that these devices are hard to put down. We're talking about some of the smartest people in the world, people who have graduated from the Harvards and the Stanfords and the top people of the world. They put their mind to sitting down and saying, how can we make our devices and our platforms more addicting? Okay. And they have literally looked into the shortcut, into the loophole of the human psychology, of the brain, in order to be able to design this. This is not something that you can fight. This is already built inside of the human brain, and they have used the loopholes within the human brain in order to be able to make their softwares and their companies' products addicting, okay? Now, not only that, you might not have known this, but for every single distraction that you have when you are working on something, It takes nearly 30 minutes in order for you to recover from that distraction. And I'm not talking about a distraction that has to be like a major distraction, right? Not something that has to make you leave your house and that kind of distraction. I'm talking about as little as a notification going off, as little as a little red light going off, a little red indicator showing on your computer. That tiny distraction can throw you off completely from what you were working on and take you nearly 30 minutes to focus again. Okay, and to be exact, they've actually done this research on this. It's actually 23 minutes and 15 seconds. And so when I say that it literally takes you 30 minutes, I am not joking about that. Okay, you can literally Google this. It's been scientifically proven. It takes you 23 minutes to recover from a distraction. Okay, so just for example, let's say you go ahead and let's say you're like, you know what? I work a full-time job, maybe I'm a single parent. I don't have that much time in order to actually focus on building my career with remote wellness, okay? You get many students who are very busy, right? You might be building this entire new career while doing this part-time, okay? So maybe you have like a maximum of like 30 minutes to an hour a day to focus on building your career in remote wellness, right? That by itself is not a lot of time. So let's say you put your child to sleep, right? You finally get a little bit of time yourself. You've been working all day and you say, cool, I'm going to start working on my future. Phenomenal. So you start getting 10 minutes into your 30-minute window, and then all of a sudden you get a quick notification on your phone. And then you check that notification, it's your brother texting you, it's your mom calling you or whatever it might be. And then you say, cool, nothing serious. It just buzzes and makes a sound, right? Or it might just be even a red indicator, and that's it. But guess what? The science proves that it will take you now 23 minutes to get back to the same level of focus, that same level of momentum, that same level of flow that you were in. It's going to take you time to be able to get back to that. Where was I? Okay, what was I doing? Okay, let me backtrack. What was going on? So now you're at 10 minutes of work that you had, 20 minutes of trying to get back into it, right? And you might not even realize this, but it does take that much time. They've proven it psychologically. And guess what? That's already more time than you had allocated. And you were literally that's your entire window right there. And so you lost time because you had to focus. And so this is why I'm saying that this is a fact, okay, right here. Your phone and social media will make you more poor, okay? These companies are profiting off of your attention that you could be spending on bettering your life and your income, okay? Like I said, this is why we call it paying attention. You wake up every single morning with a finite amount of attention in your bank account. Let's say 100 units. My question to you is, where are you paying your attention, okay? Smartphones and social media were designed to profit from your attention bank, okay? They want to take as much of that attention from you because we now live, like I said, in the attention economy. And so attention is money. It's not about time is money. Attention is money. And so obviously this applies to many other areas of your life. We talked about how physical things take up space in your mind as well. They take up attention. But what we're talking about in this training is specifically about managing your technology. So that way that does not rob you of your attention. Okay, this is absolutely critical. I cannot tell you how important this actually is. You can see here, this is an article from the Globe and Mail. It says your smartphone is making you stupid, antisocial, and unhealthy. Why can't you put it down? Right? And so you can see here, they got a cool image right here with an IV bag with a bunch of notifications on it. Okay. And so this has been literally proven time and time again. Okay. There is an awesome video by Vox. If you're not familiar with Vox, they're kind of like a news outlet. They're not really news. They're kind of like, art, science-based kind of stuff. And I would highly recommend that you do watch it. I am going to go ahead and link it in the action steps down below, as well as inside of this guide. And it basically runs down and it says, it's not you. Phones are designed to be addicting, right? They have three specific design elements that make smartphones hard to put down. And then they talk to you about what you can do in order to be able to overcome those difficulties, okay? And so the video highlights more action steps that you can take. So that way your phone helps you and does not addict you, okay? And so right here, I want to go ahead and talk about this is, why do they do all of this? The reason why companies and social media platforms and smartphone manufacturers and all these people, the reason they do this is because they make more money when you spend more of your attention and time on their devices and platforms, okay? I'm telling you right now, smartphones and social media and other distractions are going to be your number one enemy in this journey for you having financial freedom. the quicker that you can let that fact seep into the deep recesses of your soul and your mind, and the sooner you start to take action to be able to protect yourself from this, the better off you are going to be. The reason why it is a part of this training in the foundations is because I cannot tell you how many students we have come through this program. We give them the tactics, we give them the strategies, we give them everything that they need to know. And literally, they could make 6, 7, even 8 figures off of the training that we give you guys. But the reason why they're not able to do that and change their lives is because their attention is being spent somewhere else. And so if you are able to do what I'm about to talk to you about inside of this training, okay? If you are able to, it's a big if, because a lot of people are so addicted that they can't even get themselves to do it. But if you're able to do it, I guarantee you that you will make more money, okay? Number 1, I guarantee you that you will make more money if you are able to delete social media off of your phone. Don't worry, you can still check it on your computer. You can still do all of that. But I haven't had social media on my phone for years. Literally, my income probably 10x to 100x since I got rid of social media on my phone. Every single one of our team members here at RWA does not carry social media on their phone. Literally, Coach Malik, right, who's you might be familiar with, who's on our ads and the front end of our website and all that kind of stuff. He literally has a whole separate phone that he uses, that he needs because he has to obviously make content and that kind of stuff. He uses that phone for social media, and then his main phone that he carries around with him has no social media on it. So that phone, he uses it. After he's done posting all that kind of stuff, he turns it off, he puts it away. That's how much we protect our time and our minds from this stuff, okay? Number 2, if you turn off all of the notifications from all of the apps that you have on your phone, I guarantee you that you will make more money. Okay, obviously, except from the ones that are friends and family. However, in my case, honestly, my friends and family know I work during these times. I literally turn on and off the notifications. And then number 3, I would highly recommend that you use Newsfeed Eradicator. That was the Chrome extension that we recommended to you in the previous training. So that way, when you have it, you are able to still get rid of the newsfeed when you're using social media, because there's no reason for you to be able to get caught up in looking at somebody's new cat or dog on social media when you're trying to make more money. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to serve you. I haven't seen my neighbor's cat in like 10 plus years, and it hasn't really made that big of a difference in my life, okay? Now, how do you actually do some of this stuff on your phones? So on the iPhone, how you turn off notifications is you go over to your settings app, okay? And then you click on notifications. And then from there, it'll show you a list of all of the apps that you have downloaded, which, by the way, the less apps you have on your phone, the more money you're going to make. So I would highly recommend deleting a lot of these apps if you don't use them, or especially the ones that are addicting to you, especially the social media ones. But either way, you're just going to click on all of them, right? Click on all of them one by one. And you're going to go in and allow notifications. Just turn it off. Simple as that. Literally go in and turn off as many notifications as you can. Remember, literally just one notification, the sound, the red light, all of that kind of stuff, it's going to distract you and it's going to make you less money. Especially those little red icons when you see like, oh, I got another email, boom, another email, ding, another email, ding, another text message, ding. And then, dude, that's the worst. That is absolutely the worst. Definitely turn off the sounds, turn off the badges, turn off the red indicators. If you can, just turn off all the notifications for the apps. I guarantee you, you will make much more money and be more successful in life and have a happier life and everything, okay? How to do this on Android, go over to settings, click on notifications, and then same thing, click on the apps and then turn off the notifications from there as well, okay? Now, something you might be telling yourself right now, man, why are they making me do this, right? This is a business and money program, right? Why not just focus on that only? Why not just help me, Coach Yasin, make more money in my business and make more money in my life and in my career? Well, first off, I want you to know that we're not making you do this, okay? So this is completely your choice. If you choose to completely disregard and throw all of what I'm saying in the garbage, so be it. It's your life. I don't really care if you decide to do it or not. Obviously, I care for your success as a student in the program, but ultimately, like we've talked about, this is your life and it's your choices and your responsibility. So you don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything of what we're saying. It's all 100% your choice, okay? However, I am just strongly recommending you as your instructor, as your coach, as your mentor, as your whatever inside of this program, I would highly recommend that you do it, and I do care for your success, okay? And so because we found after helping thousands of students in all of our programs, right? If we do not focus on these fundamental things, clearing the clutter from your life, tech fundamentals, managing our technology, then students do not have the bandwidth or the attention to focus on the money making. Okay? Remember what we talked about before? Small hinges open big doors. Okay? This thing that we're talking about here, this topic, is such a small topic, right? Just turning off the notifications. Coach Yassine, that's not that big of a deal. Well, it's so easy that most people don't do it. And so it's the small things that have these major implications to so many aspects of your life. And what we're talking about right now is the tide that lifts all boats. Okay. And then on top of that, the other important thing to point out on here is that basically what you're going to do once you have all of these notifications turned off, you use less of your computer, you use less of your phone, what you're going to do is you're actually going to just make sure that you do all of your work on the computer, right? That's why we talked about the tech fundamentals and having an important tool of a computer. And I can't tell you how many people insist that they want to do work on their phone or they want to do work on their tablet. I'm telling you right now, it's 1,000% less efficient. And so don't use your phone for work. Just do it on the computer, okay? And so we didn't talk about this in the tech fundamentals, but that includes you maybe getting better at typing. Don't worry, the more you use the computer, you'll get better at typing, right? And it'll literally probably make you an extra $1 million over the course of your career just by learning to type better. Just a small thing, right? Just by using your computer and having more efficiency that way, okay? And so when you do things on a computer, you will naturally get better at typing and your efficiency will go through the roof, okay? So a couple quick things about being ruthless about this. And I mean ruthless when I say ruthless about this, okay? One of the things that I do, every single time that I get a notification on my phone that disturbs me or distracts me, right? Maybe I downloaded a new app and then that app didn't have its notifications turned off, I take the 5 seconds to go and find the setting for it and turn it off. Most people don't do that. Most people are like, okay, cool, I'll just live with it. No, don't be like that. If you want to have an extraordinary life, you have to be an extraordinary human being. If you want to have a life that nobody else has, then you need to do the things that nobody else does. The rest of the world and the rest of the population doesn't do that. They just stick with the complacency of having the notifications and the distraction. Don't do that. Don't be like them. Right? Be different. Don't follow the crowd because the crowd is not making, $200, $300, $400, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year. People don't have the goals that you have. So you're going to have to be different than them. Okay. Same thing. Every time you get a notification on Facebook, right? Or a group that you're not a part of anymore, take the 5 seconds, go in and maybe remove yourself from that group. You can literally Google, turn off Facebook notifications. There's tutorials on how to do it. Take the 5 seconds, be different. You can do it. Right? Every time you get a notification on Instagram that distracts you, take the 5 seconds to turn that off. Google, turn off Instagram notifications. That's literally how I learned how to do it, right? Consider turning your phone off when you work. Consider turning your phone off for an entire day on the weekend, right? And there's just so many other ideas that you can have to be able to take back the attention so that way you can live your life more consciously and not on autopilot, okay? And I promise you, the more ruthless that you are, the more careful you are with your social media, internet, and smartphone input and consumption, you will make more money. You will instantly feel a psychological freedom when you are no longer tied to your phone and social media, okay? I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this for years, like I said earlier. Every team member at RWA does this, and there's literally nobody that I know that makes more than $100,000 a year that is not obsessed with managing their notifications and social media, internet, and smartphone consumption. I'm telling you, they're obsessed about it. They're diligent about it, they're consistent about it, and they make it a point to make sure that they look at where their attention is going and auditing all of that, okay? Now, does that mean that all technology is bad? Obviously not. We talked about the fundamentals of it, right? We do use technology and the internet and social media and our smartphones, right? We use all of this to make an insane amount of income and money online. But here's the key. We use our smartphones and social media as producers, not as consumers. That's the key. We use our social media and smartphones as producers, not as consumers, okay? So we use it to make money and not to steal our attention, okay? Now, literally, as you can see from my passion inside of this training, I can go on and on and on about this because it's such an important topic, but for the sake of brevity, right? If you're interested for more information, you can literally just Google social media addiction makes you more poor, smartphone makes you poor, right? And I'm telling you right now, poor people have no filter or control on their internet, smartphone, and social media. Wealthy people do. And that is not a discriminatory statement. I'm just stating facts, okay? So the question is simple. Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be somebody who is wealthy, somebody who lives life deliberately, somebody who is in control of their life? Or do you want to be leaving your fate and your destiny at the hands of social media conglomerates and smartphone manufacturers, and you want them to decide your fate and your life and your health and the future of your family, or do you want to decide that? And so that is why this training is so absolutely critical, and that's why we are so passionate about it, okay? So in terms of action steps, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and emphasize on here. Yes, what you're gonna go ahead and experiment with this, it is gonna feel different, okay? You may not even wanna do some of them. My only recommendation, don't believe me. You don't have to believe me what I'm saying. All I'm encouraging you to do is I'm encouraging you to discover, to experiment, to explore. Just look at it for yourself. Don't believe anything I said. Look at it with criticism. Look at it with skepticism, and literally just explore it yourself. Okay, just see what it looks like to be able to try some of these things for a few weeks and see if you feel any different. Okay, just remember that one of the signs of addiction is when you think that you can't even live a month without something. I mean, a month without something, that means you might have a little bit of an addiction there, okay? Now, in terms of action steps, a couple action steps on here. Number one, turn off all notifications on your phone, okay? This is gonna be an action step for you. I'm gonna make that like a pretty hard requirement for you to go ahead and make sure you at least explore, okay? And then optional, I'm not gonna make this a requirement, but an optional is deleting social media off of your phone. Remember, doing this will make you more money. So that's an optional for you. I'm not going to make that a requirement because at this point, that might be too strong of a thing to do. I was considering making it a requirement, but I'm going to make it an optional thing. But I'm telling you, it's so important. Make sure you do watch the Vox video about phones being addicting. It's very, very, very good. And then make sure that you do have Newsfeed Eradicator turn on in your browser, okay? And then in terms of the student comment for this training, I want to go ahead and hear from you. Where do you struggle the most when it comes to managing your usage with technology, right? Have you ever noticed any addictions to it? They call it ghost thumb, right? You just reach to your phone without even noticing it. What are you going to work on when it comes to your usage of technology, social media, and smartphones? Again, remember, this is your opportunity to engage. We love to hear from you, and I'm really super excited to hear about your inputs on this training and your takeaways from it as well. I will catch you on the next training.